break it all down for us is the Daily Signal's Kelsey Harkness. Kelsey, thank you so much for being here with us. It's been really fascinating to see this massive shift to the left by so many of these prominent politicians that have now, for example, Kirsten Gillibrand, that we'll start with, launched this presidential campaign. Suddenly she's a big leftist. Her current political positions, for example, eliminate ICE, Medicare for all, ban assault weapons. Now, that differs a lot from what she was saying just a few years ago, does it not?
Absolutely. Kirsten Gillibrand used to be known as a blue dog Democrat in her state of New York. Believe it or not, at one time she had an A rating with the NRA, which is absolutely unheard of for any Democrat these days. Now she has pivoted to the hard left. She has an F rating with the NRA. And at one point she also was a fan of border security. She wanted English to be the official language in the United States. So over the past decade, she is certainly an example of a Democrat politician who really has flip-flopped on quite a number of policies.
Let's look at Beto O'Rourke. He seems to be a new beloved darling of the left. He has some current political positions that are pretty far left, claiming a border wall would, quote, ensure death. He supports universal health care coverage. He questioned the relevancy of constitutional principles. Now, last I checked, just a short time ago, he was being lauded as a moderate.
He was, in fact, when he was a relatively unknown member of Congress, Beto sided with the Trump administration about 30% of the time. He was actually among the top 20 Democrats to side with the Trump administration. And nobody would know that looking at him now when he is out there calling for these very hard left policies. So, you know, I think he's going to have a lot of questions to answer for if he does decide to run for president, which, judging from his most recent dental visit, I would say it's pretty likely.
And lastly, we have Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who did a big shift when it came to social issues. She's now saying she supports marriage equality. She has a 100% rating from Planned Parenthood. She supports single-payer health care, but particularly on the social issues, this has been really quite a shift for her, has it not?
Yes, so this is an interesting candidate because Gabbard used to actually be a very vocal opponent to same-sex marriage, which, of course, if you're running on the Democratic ticket, is completely unacceptable these days. She also was a critic of President Obama for refusing to use terms like radical extremists, and yet at the same time she also supported Bernie Sanders in the 2016 presidential election. So she's sort of been all over the board, and she's actually, if she maintained her independency, I think she's someone who might have a chance to really break out from the pack of 2 to 3 dozen Democrats who look like they're going to run. But already she has reversed her position on same-sex marriage. She's apologized for it, and I think for a lot of voters that apology is going to fall flat.
Thank you, Kelsey. Of course, the question is whether this hard left switch for a lot of these Democrats will actually be effective or will, you know, bite them in the you-know-what coming up. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, check out this shocking video.